council. Okay, Charlotte.
City of Florence team won their first indoor soccer game last Friday, so.
Is that sort of a committee or? Okay. Anyone else? Down at that far end? Any committee reports?
I've done mine.
Okay. None, huh? Okay. I don't see the mayor's on here.
Number 7.
Where planning commission. And mayor's report, I have none. So we'll move to the city attorney report.
The chief has asked me to look into drafting an ordinance for underage tobacco use, as well as expanding our harassment ordinance in our criminal code to capture some internet harassing that's going on. Perhaps the chief could address the council a little bit further on that.
Yeah.
We're just experiencing, since they've expanded the harassment ordinance with the internet, Facebook, cyberbullying type of thing, we're experiencing a lot of stuff in some of the schools, and we'd rather book them into a municipal court instead of bringing them in to the county court, district court, because the time frame on that is so long. So that's our thought. We'd rather handle it here with what one of the SROs has sent the city attorney on a graduated step of fines and community service here done at the city where we can control it, and some monitoring. We think it's going to be better off than, we've got some cases that have been sitting 3 months that haven't been filed by the district attorney's office because they're so busy. The lady, the assistant district attorney who's got juveniles is so backlogged, it's not even funny. So these kids see this backlog and think, oh, nothing's going to happen to me. And we're experiencing more and more. So that's why we'd like to try to increase our ordinance to add the cyberbullying, the Facebook stuff, because that seems to be a really major problem right now. And we'd rather address it here with us in our court, our city attorney, our judge, than to keep flooding the other court system right now. And then you have the body camera, we have the body camera thing, what we're looking into right now, our policy and procedure, the city attorney's reviewing for us too. We've got them in, so we're ready to put those in operational once our policy is shored up by the city attorney. So, thank you.
Yeah, I reviewed a body-worn camera policy that the chief sent over to me, revised it somewhat, sent it back. I'm not quite sure where we are in the process.
I didn't get it.
Oh, you didn't get it?
No. Would you resend it again? We've had some computer problems here with our server and stuff, and
I'll send it again.
thank you, Brian. I appreciate it.
That's all I have.
And is this going to be a real extensive problem to have to change all this or do anything?
Well, we'll be expanding our harassment ordinance. The underage tobacco ordinance is going to be new.
Yes, that will be a new ordinance that we'll have to draft
This is
up.
quite the ordeal for you then?
No, it shouldn't be too bad.
All right.
Officer Sweeney sent me over some examples of what some other cities are doing. I'll take a look around and we'll
See
figure
what
it
fits
out.
for us?
Yep.
Okay. Anything else?
Nope.
All right. Okay, we're going to move to the department head reports, and you're up first.
Sure. Anybody has any questions for me? You've probably seen a lot more police activity right now. Like I said a little bit ago, we've kind of taken a real hard stance on some of the stuff that's going on right now. I actually have detectives out again tonight performing some extra work. We hit the ground running January 1. It's been nonstop where our calls are. It's going to be a busy year if they keep going the way we're going right now.
So are we going to have enough manpower?
No, sir. We're trying. That's where we're trying to hire reserves to help fill our spots, and I'm trying to think outside the box, which I'm been told pretty good at jumping out of a box. Not an airplane. I don't want to do that, but I'm trying to come up with ways that we can do different things and make ends meet. We've got some good news from Post on funding of training and what they'll cover, so they'll cover some more things that they never covered before because of funds they're getting. Like when we send an officer to training and we have to replace that officer on the street, we'll get that overtime covered. which has never happened before. So there's some things that have come up that will help us on our budget in the training aspect. So I'm working on a lot of different aspects to meet what we need and to present to the city council as I come up with things with the city manager that we're going to need over the next year. Grants coming up in June and July, working with people to get those grants secured.
He gets a free dog, so I can't say no.
Wait till the motorcycle comes. Oh, I'm sorry, I slipped that one. I know, he'll beat me up on that one. No, but we're keeping up with the work. Like I said, you'll probably hear a lot of, come on, Mike, look at I make him blush. You'll see a lot more police activity in certain areas in town. We've been targeting some of our problem areas really heavily, going through the call volume, seeing where we're getting more calls than normal and why we're getting those calls, kind of doing some analysis on it. Some other things have developed on other aspects I can't really touch. I've been in touch with, can't touch in open public right now, but I've been keeping the city manager up to what's going on with that.
Yeah.
One thing to add on Chief De Laurentiis' report. Chief De Laurentiis and the department, in conjunction with the sheriff's office, are really fighting a very active war on drugs, and I think most specifically meth and heroin. There's been a huge infusion of those drugs coming up, pretty inexpensive, from Mexico. And our police department is very active in the battle on those two particular drugs, other things as well, but it seems that those are the drugs that are really prevalent in our community and throughout Fremont County and really all over Colorado at this point.
Yeah.
And they're really doing a great job. So,
and we're targeting those Schedule II, the heroin, the meth is terrible right now throughout the state, as Mr. Patterson said, coming up from Mexico. But we're targeting that because it all has a residual effect: burglaries, thefts, robberies, the assaults on police officers right now. A lot of the assaults we've have all the people have been heavily under the influence of heroin and meth. They're doing fireballs and stuff, and which is a combination of both, and it's taking them like this, and that's what we're dealing with. So, and it's not only males, it's females, it's a little bit of everybody. It's been a trying year, and starting out is not much better right now. So that's why we've gone on an aggressive approach with our detectives and the detectives from the county. I think our first 10 days of the year we made with the help of, like I said, detective division from the county and us, our detectives, going off the top of my head, probably at least 7 possession and delivery and weapons were taken off people at the same time. So it's something.
But it's just not here. It's
everywhere. It's
Okay.
Pueblo makes us
Just
look
so
like
you're not scaring
candy strippers.
everybody out there
but it's
that
just
it's
it's just a terrible trend right now. They're coming
Okay.
up from other countries. The heroin is terrible.
Right.
It's not just us. It's springs,
And it is.
fountain,
I don't want you to-
everybody. So.
you're far safer in Florence and other places.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's
We've got a good
right.
police department. Like I said, we've been out there.
Sitting there.
The guys have been out there sometimes, and I'm standing along with them because I support my guys, and we've been out 16 and 17 hours and just one arrest after another, vehicle search, that type of thing, and we're going to continue it to send a message that you come here, we're not going to stand for it. And Fremont County's been a great ally in this. They're doing the same thing, so Sheriff's Department and our officers really deserve a round of applause. And that's the other thing, February, the second meeting in February, which is the 18th, 19th? 16th. I'd like to have an awards presentation. I'm going to ask, I've asked Dina to put it on probably about a half hour to recognize some of the officers for things they did last year, the detectives who were shot at in the incident in December, some of the other stuff they've done, and there's also some citizens awards. I think 5 citizens awards we'd like to give out to citizens who, stepped into danger and helped us, didn't think about themselves, so I think they should be recognized because it's great that we have that kind of community support, that people will step in and help the police officers when they need it. So, thank you. Yes, sir.
Mike, are you having any success taking these people off the street? And number 2 is, like, if you catch somebody with drugs in a vehicle or so forth, can you impound their vehicle?
Yes, we do. That's our policy, is anything like, anywhere we find in narcotics, if we find them right away, we actually impound the vehicle, get a search warrant, and go into the vehicle and search it. After a judge has issued a search warrant, if we are accepted, if the judge accepts our warrant. So, yes, we are. We're doing our job. We'll see what happens in the courts. So, some of them are getting PR bonds and getting released. quicker than I'd like to see, but the state has revised as Brian knows, they've revised the bond schedule, so that's been one of our problems too. So,
Just so you know, that's not municipal court.
no, it's not municipal. Brian's tough.
Yeah, I just, because it's like you bust them and they're right back out.
And that's why, like with the smoking and the harassment, we like to bring it here so we have a little more control over it. Like I said, there's some stuff we've got sitting months since November that haven't even been filed yet on, like assaults in the schools where the kids fight or harassment on the internet. I mean, that's a common thing we get. We'd rather have it here, get the people up before the court, and the kids know, hey, well, I'm going to be brought before a judge sooner than later. Because the later it is, it seems like it doesn't hit that same effect. So that's what we're trying to do, get that effect with the parents here, the community service. So.
Okay, anyone else have questions for it? Okay, thank you, Mike.
You're welcome, sir.
Okay, Public Works. You have no report? You just wanted to see him get up, didn't you? That's it. Water Department.
Good evening.
Good evening.
On the 5th, Tuesday after the last council meeting, we had the drilling at the South Reservoirs done. We are still awaiting the laboratory results. I'm thinking that'll take another 2 weeks or so. Some of those tests can take up to a month to do. So we're still awaiting those results, but me and my guys, we are currently working along with Sam and Martin on the cross-connection ordinance, making some revisions to that, and we plan on, with Brian's help, trying to bring that to you next council meeting. This is something that something that I had talked to you about with our sanitary survey that's being required by the state, as far as having the ordinance in place, which we do already have an ordinance, but it needs to be adjusted, and then surveying our entire community for backflow prevention devices, where they're needed, and who has them and who doesn't, and if they need to get them installed. So that's what we're working on. Any questions? All right.
Thank you. Finance Officer.
The only thing I would report on would be the sales tax has been collected through November, and we are running at 2.7% higher than last year.
Good deal.
It's also a record. And working on month-end, year-end, all of those fun things.
You're doing a great job of it. Okay. Planning Department.
So as you know, we have a notice out for annexation down State Highway 115 to the Florence River Park, and so that has to be out for 90 days. We're in the middle of that period. It'll come up for ordinance or for hearing in the end of March, but all the notices have gone out to everybody within 300 feet, and people of East Florence are very active, and so I've gotten a lot of phone calls, and Mike and I have even said we'd go talk to the water board, and once people hear that, we're not trying to steal people's land, we're just trying to get down to our land, they've been okay with it, but people have been calling, so in case anybody contacts you guys, just have them call me or Mike, and I can explain what's going on. We'll be getting a contract with Community Matters. The planning consultants are going to be doing the comp plan update. So we're just finishing that up, and I think I'm going to send it over to Brian tomorrow morning. So the next council meeting, you'll probably have an agreement to sign hiring Community Matters, and then get the comp plan process started. And then we just talked about East Main, and then the other CDOT project is to do the design and come up with solutions for Pikes Peak all the way through town, and then a bike lane actually up to Pikes Peak into the high school. And so we've got 2 people who bid on that project, and so we'll be making that decision this week, and then probably the council meeting after that, hiring another consultant. So we'll have a ton of stuff. So a lot of things that we're working on for, a number of months will all kind of be hitting here in the next couple of months. So that's all I have.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you for that. City Clerk.
Like Barry said, just working on the end of the year and rolling over, getting ready for the new year. Been working a lot on the 4th of July committee. I'm pretty excited about the events we have coming up for that. And just getting the recreation teams started. That's been a lot of fun as well.
Okay. Any questions for the city clerk? No? Moving on to the city manager.
Okay, first thing, it's been brought to my attention that we need to remind council, please try to raise your hand and get the mayor's attention when trying to make comments. Another one, you may notice the faint smell of skunk. It's not pot, it actually is a skunk. We have a skunk under our building, and we've been trying to get him out. So when the smell first started, the poor electrician that was in here working on some stuff, we thought he smelled like pot. So we were really concerned, but it turned out to really be the skunk. So
How do you know it's a him?
the electrician was a
Hope there's not a family.
But the police chief witnessed the skunk fighting with a cat out in the parking lot.
Yeah, we've got a department cat that stays here, and they were fighting in the parking lot a couple of times.
Who won the fight?
Actually, Sue did.
I imagine.
Okay, so a couple other things. By our next council meeting, as you can see, we've got some new cameras in here. The folks who we awarded the contract to for the cameras are also providing for us a new sound system in here. They're including that in the yeah. So you probably will be able to hear, and you won't have to worry about tapes anymore because it'll all be digital and all that kind of stuff. That should be done by the next council meeting, but if not, it will certainly be done by the second meeting in February. They were in here working on it yesterday, and we can see some of the new cameras. So it should be interesting to be a little bit more modern in here. So that will be good. Couple other things. Radio in the morning. We have the 8:30 radio show. Would anybody like to go?
What morning?
Tomorrow morning. I forgot about it till we were sitting here tonight. So would anybody like to go?
I'll go with you.
Okay, so sure. He didn't really want to go.
What time?
8:30.
Oh, no, can't do
The
that.
police chief.
Oh, you want to go? Okay, we'll take the chief then. So chief and I.
All right.
Yeah.
I went last time.
Okay, that way he gets to drive. Okay, then wanted to remind all of you who are signed up for the Fremont Economic Development Corporation banquet this Friday. That is this Friday at the Abbey. So wanted to remind you about that. And then finally, last Monday we'd scheduled a meeting with the Humane Society, but we didn't advertise it, so we had to cancel. So wanted to check with you first, to check with the council. Assuming you still want to do that meeting?
Right.
Is there any days, maybe potentially next Monday or something like that next week that would work for people?
That'd be fine.
Monday's good.
Okay, then I will approach the Humane Society about it and kind of go from there.
Okay.
And that is it for my report.
All right.
I'll make a motion to pay the bills.
Okay.
Second.
Have a first, second roll call, please.
Counselor Baker,
Aye.
Counselor Upton,
Aye.
Counselor Henniger,
Aye.
Counselor Smith,
Aye.
Counselor Vendetti,
Aye.
Mayor Orr.
Aye.
Can we back up a minute?
Okay.
This meeting next Monday with the Humane Society, is that a special city council meeting?
Yeah, it'll be a workshop.
A workshop?
Yeah.
Workshop.
At what time?
6 o'clock. Does that work for everybody?
What's the date?
The 25th.
25th.
Just make sure
we
to put
get
it
that
on.
posted.
We
City
will
clerk on the
advertise
list.
that.
Just get it posted on the door.
Yeah, post on the door, and we'll put it on the website.
All right, and put it on the council sheets for meetings,
Okay.
So if you won't get
or send one out. Okay. Just so they know, because some of them's not here.
Okay.
All right. Okay, it's 8:15 and this meeting's adjourned.
No executive session. No.
We already asked both.
Nothing to do with it.
Wow, it's spoiled.
Just meet me there. He can't possibly get here early enough to get